This is Deltaclimber Studios presents. These videos will be taking a look at Solo Blox Leveling. All right. Hello again, this is Deltaclimber coming to you from Deltaclimber Studios, Roblox, and a new game, Solo Blox Leveling. My son, Daniel Fighter 120, has invited me to come play this game. He says he thinks I'd like it because I can be an archer. And he knows that I, being an elf, primarily, like being an archer. There's a couple of things. First of all, when you go into the game, you can customize your character. You can click what class you want to be. Of course, I chose being an archer. You can change your hairstyle, your face look, hair color, and your skin color. Okay, you save all of that. And then you can click on back, and it takes you back out to this main menu. And then you'll go into play. Now, when you first go into play, you will go into the tutorial. I will go to the tutorial for you once it finishes loading. And if I'm not mistaken, the tutorial, there it is. I have been playing this game. I played it 3 days, 3 different times. And so bear with me because I'm still learning the game, basically. Yes. Hello. Takes it a minute for it to load. Whether you're going into a dungeon, whether or you're going back into the tutorial or whatever, it does take a minute for it to load. So in the tutorial, you can move around, but you really just click next and WASD and Q. WASD is forward, back. This way they do have shift locks, so you can go backwards like that, not necessarily facing you. And then Q, of course, is to roll. Roll Q. And next, B is you open your inventory. Here's your inventory. You can see the 3 days that I've played, I've run a few dungeons and I've got a few drops there. And these scrolls are what everybody's trading for. And it's only for cosmetic armor or a cosmetic look or something that you can have a chance to get. If you go to their... oh, what is that thing called? Trello, I think Trello? Yeah, if you go to the Trello for Solo Blox Leveling, Trello, I think it is, you'll see that the Trello is pretty full. It's got a lot of information here. So if you can go to the Trello, you can pretty much get all the questions you might have answered, except one that's bugging the stew out of me, and that is, what are the drop chances? Who drops what? Here are all the weapons, and that, my son said that's why a lot of people like playing it, is so that they can collect the weapons. Also, it has a very high top-end level, and you can get there pretty quickly. Not to the top end, but you can level up pretty quickly anyway. F, okay, F puts the bow in your hand, and F puts it back on your back. Here, let's see, the right mouse button is if you need to move the camera. And of course, the left mouse button is for shooting. And then it talks about if you want to be an assassin, you can read all of that. P is for party frame. You want to start a party. And some of the mobs, I've been hearing a lot of people wanting to do parties and go in. But if you do that, you share the experience and stuff. K is inputting your keybinds. Now that is something that you want to do. You do get skills when you get up to certain levels. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when I hit those particular keys, I'll be able to use those particular skills. So save and close. and I think that's pretty important. Again, K, you also can have buffs and stones. Now let's talk about NPCs, the guys with the question marks. The orange question marks are how you get your quests. The exclamation point, if you want a job. And the people with a $sign over their head, that's for NPC sales. And the green exclamation point is for upgrades. You can mine in this game. Okay, the tutorial has ended. Now if you want to get out of here, now you have to press W twice. W once walk, W twice to run. That is one thing that I have found it makes it less than handy in a dungeon, because if you don't press W just right, you could get killed. I mean, you need to be able to run when you doggone, press a key to run. I would have put it on shift or something. So you come over here and go through that portal and it takes you back to the city. Now when you come out of a dungeon, you'll come back to the city. When you, from now on, after the tutorial, when you load into the game, you'll come back to the city. Over here, you can change your class there. Here you can talk to that person. You can reset your stats there. There's the tutorial. Special shop. Now this green $sign. Excuse me, you have to be able to see the person. This is in-game money. This is not Robux. And when you get started, it's pretty cheap. And I had started out with this archer set here. And that helped me, and since then I've gotten these parts dropped from a dungeon. Here we are. We are in the city. This is the entire city is a safe zone. You cannot PvP in here anymore. Apparently you used to can, and people made it hard. And we're going to try and wrap this up real quick. All right, you see that warning, dungeon appeared, and you see here's the B rank dungeon, and there is another B rank dungeon. Is that B? Yeah, I think that's another B rank dungeon. One B rank dungeon. There are two B rank dungeons. And you cannot go into a dungeon that you are not that level. All right, it does not tell me which one this is. Now that is another thing, because there are two B rank dungeons. It should tell you this one is for the whatever place, and the other one is for the Forgotten City or whatever. But it doesn't tell you that until you actually load in the dungeon. Forgotten Kingdom. Okay, this is the new one. This is harder to find than the other one, which is, this is underwater. This one is underwater. So that is an introduction. What I'm going to do after this video is I'm going to go ahead and try to record this particular dungeon. It is very long. You have to kill. In the other dungeons, you kill only 30, but when you get to a B rank, you kill 50 monsters. All right, this is Deltaclimber again, coming to you from Roblox and Solo Blox Leveling. This is indeed, to me, the problem with this game. They have two portals for dungeons that spawn in random places. And at about every 5 minutes or so, they randomly spawn again. Just a minute ago, they had an E rank, it was way over there, and an A rank, and it was over there down where the mushrooms are. It's kind of a hidden away place. And now they've respawned here an E and a red gate. Now, I'm a B rank, level 80, and I can't do red, I can't do A, and I don't want to go back and do E. So if you're playing this game hoping to be able to get the dungeon you're leveled at, you just have to wait, hope it shows up. That's the problem with, I was doing the Forbidden Kingdom, or Forgotten Kingdom, the Forgotten Kingdom dungeon. It's an underwater dungeon. And where'd they go? See, they've just gone. And you just have to wait until that particular B, there are 2 B dungeons. You have to wait till that dungeon shows up again. So these 2 have disappeared. Now there's a new dungeons. You have to look around. That's an E dungeon right there. And you have to look around and find where the other one is. There it is. I just barely see the green words. I have no idea what rank it is. Turn it to the corner of my screen. That's red again. The corner of your screen magnifies it a little bit. Yeah, that's the red gate again. So another E and another red. So that's several turns in a row where you don't get to play. It has a lot of potential. I mean, it's got good maps. The dungeon maps are okay. The mobs are okay. The bow does not shoot as far as I'd like for it to. In all the other games I play, the bow shoots out as far as you can see, which is, you know, what an arrow does. An arrow goes until it doesn't go anymore. Yeah, if farther away you are, it may do less damage or something. I don't know. But this bow does, this game's archery does not shoot very far, which can get you killed in dealing with bosses and stuff. So it's a E and a red over there. And there are other games that I could play and stuff. I will give it one more random try to get a B up. But just in my opinion, Solo Blox Leveling, it has a lot of potential, but there are a couple of problems with it. One of them is the random spawning of portals for the dungeons and the random dungeon levels. And it's gone again. Now we're waiting for it to generate a new pair of dungeons somewhere in the city. And you have to get there before it goes away, which I have had that happen. It's very frustrating to get there just as the frickin' thing disappears. All right, there's a B there, and that over there looks like an E maybe, I don't know. I'll go over. Oh, okay, and this one is, it looks, yeah, it's a B, but it's buried back down in Nowheresville. Some people don't even know how to get to it. I didn't. I had to track it down, and this one way over here, I've gotten to it twice as it disappeared. It just so happened I had to be on this side of town when, and it is a B rank. So we'll see which one this is. And it doesn't even tell you, oh, Forgotten Kingdom again. So you guys enjoy the game. Hope to see you on it. Until then, play it straight. Don't hack. And arrivederci.
This has been a Deltaclimber Studio production.